Hey everybody, welcome back to my NaNoWADMo progress, whatchamafudget. So, been making a few changes here and there, including to game and weapon balance. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and show off the level real quick. Let me actually wake up the enemies in the monster closets because that's gonna need done. So right now we have a bunch of like little suburban homes. Not a whole lot of detail going on yet. I figure priority 1 for this month, because I'm not a particularly fast mapper. Priority 1 is going to be to just create a space and basically just tell the story I want to tell, I guess. But a lot of these houses are, I think I've made like 8 distinct designs and copied and pasted them throughout. So I mean, it kind of has that feel of a suburban neighborhood, right? Yeah. Kind of, sort of. You know. It even has a park in the center. Look at that, with a fountain and everything. And oh dear, these Marines don't look too good, do they? Well, sucks to be them. I guess let's just go ahead and collect their weapons. Oh no. Yes, there are a few enemies here. I mean, it's not really too much of a surprise. You saw the kill count in the corner. I also, as you probably noticed, we've been paying attention to these logs. You'll notice that the cadence of the shotgun is quite different. And that's the thing I'm currently balancing, because Cypec brought up a good point, where the 4 weapons kind of blended together a little bit. And at the time, I'm thinking, oh, you know, I can tell the difference. But then I did some serious playtesting with them, and the more I played around with them, yeah, I started to feel that. So I kind of have something else in mind right now. So pistol, not a whole lot changed. I think I adjusted the damage a little bit, made it a little bit punchier. But it's still completely accurate. It's kind of like, it's actually the lowest damaging weapon right now. This used to actually outpace the battle rifle slightly. Plus, because it had 2 shots, like it had 2 bullets per shot, it had a little bit of penetrating power. Battle rifle would fire faster but do less damage. Well, turns out that's not very ammo efficient. So what I wound up doing is slowing down the fire rate, and the bullets now do substantially more damage. And you can kind of see there, oh, let me back up a little bit. It's firing 2 bullets as well, so you can kind of punch through crowds with it. So let's go ahead and I'll grab the blue key, because it's now here. Poor guy. And let's just make our way over here, shall we? Over to this area, which if you watched my VVVVVV stream, you'll know that this now has imps behind it to teleport in. And they wait very patiently for you to rip your face off. But let's go ahead and just drop a save here real quick, because I just want to show a few things. So right now, like one of my objectives was to make it so that the shotgun is more effective at dealing with tougher enemies. That's really where I want it. I want this gun to be the one that you use. It's kind of a nice base weapon, and also to pick off just monster window dressing and stuff. So if you just see like a lone mancubus or a couple mancs on the ledge, you know, it's pretty accurate, very punchy. I think 1 shot can do up to 60 damage now. I think the range is like, I'm trying to remember what the exact spread was, but I want to say it's like 15 to 60. Because I think it's 2 bullets that can do 15 D2. So, yeah, kind of exciting. So 15, 30, 45, 60. And this one, I ended up reducing the pellet count. That way it has less penetrative capabilities, because before it would just mow through this group of imps like it were nothing. And now it's a bit more reserved. It's not quite where I want it, but I want it so it has fewer pellets that do more damage. With the idea, oh, and also slower fire rate. With the idea being that this is going to be the tool you use to take down mid-tiers. And it's not particularly effective against larger groups like this. And then the chain gun is fast as it ever was, but it's a lot more ammo efficient. Each bullet does more damage, because before with the non-backpacked 480, I wasn't even able to clear this out. I wasn't even able to clear half of this out, which is completely ridiculous, obviously, for something that's supposed to be kind of a crowd sweeper. So what I'm going to do now, actually I'll drop another save now that I gave myself this. Let me, I think it's ammo 2, no, 1? Okay, there we go. So we have max shells and max bullets and a few cells because, whoops. And now let's go ahead and give it a shot. So, with the baseline weapon, you can see it's not mowing them down super quickly, but if you look at the kill count in the corner, it's doing a pretty nice job at keeping them at bay. They're not really able to cross the threshold, but at the same time they're able to walk up to the threshold. So it's a nice effective weapon. Does good damage, minimal penetration, but it'll still take out groups like this just because of its fire rate. You know, not too shabby. And there we go. So reload. You know, just for kicks, let me try the pistol. It should be pretty underwhelming. Yeah, see, they're able to catch much more ground. The pistol, like I mentioned, I think in the week 0 update, it's more intended for players to be able to just fire at switches without, without needing any ammo. Because one of the common tropes that I'll see is they'll have a shootable switch and there'll be just like a magazine in front of it, like, you know. But that prevents the need for that to happen. Plus, the melee weapons are generally not going to be very useful in a slaughtery situation. So, yeah, there's that. But it's kind of fun, like if you're at the end of a fight and there's just a couple imps left, just pow, 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 you know. I've had a lot of fun with that during my testing. So now, shotgun. Like I said, this isn't exactly where I want it, but you see, they're actually making... Yeah, see, that's the reason, because the first few, because of the slow fire rate, we're actually making headway. This still, I think, fires too many pellets. I'm kind of thinking, like... of just, like, redubbing this to be, like, to fire slugs or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's still too powerful for groups. And I don't think it's really strong enough for mid-tiers either. But anyway, this thing now, like I said before, this thing was horribly ammo inefficient, and it's still, per shot, not as powerful as the other one, but has a bit of penetrating power now. And, could actually basically clear out that entire group without running out of ammo. So it's a really good kind of panic fire weapon. You know, let me go ahead and switch to something else. And wow, exciting! I know, very exciting. I also had to trim the map down a little bit because turns out I was running into some. Well, I was basically slamming face first into the block map size limitation mostly because of all this extra outside space. So, like, these fences, for instance, around the park were actually, they're supposed to be impassable, obviously, but you can just walk right through them. Yeah, Doom does some weird things when you kind of push its limits a little bit too far. But, let's see. I was doing some Slaughter Max testing. Trying to think of a good one to kind of show the minigun's power. Maybe 2. Only downside with this is it kind of gives you a limited set of weapons. But yeah, I'm starting to realize that I'm not really sure if I've created a monster or if I have this thing exactly where I want it, because I was actually, this is one of those things that I wish I recorded, because I started doing it just to see how far I can get, but I played through map 28, the Eclipse of Beetlejuice, the Antares 031 map, and yeah, I single segmented it obviously with my weapon mod. Not something I would normally be capable of, by the way. I mean, I think it's safe to say I'm an above average Doom player, but that's a bit much, right? Right? Alright. Glad we're on the same page. So, one of the things with this, so let's let some of the dudes spawn in. Wait for it. Maybe map 5 would have been better. I don't know. But see, it's ammo inefficient. It actually does less damage per shot than 2. But at the same time, it could stun lock pretty much anything. Oops. Actually, didn't mean to pick that up, but... See, I mean, even against mid-tiers, it shreds them pretty quickly, but you are going to absolutely tear through your ammo supply. And speaking of which, I think that's one of the things I need to start focusing on now. Yeah, see, like... you know what? These cyber demons are kind of ruining everything, I'm not gonna lie. Because, like, I'm trying to focus on mid-tiers, and they're like, I shoot rockets everywhere! Yeah, see, like, it takes down the mid-tiers pretty well. But I think if I use less pellets with more damage... Because, I mean, it's already got a pretty tight spread. I don't know. But yeah, I think if I use less pellets, like maybe 4, but then push it to do the same damage, I think it'll probably be where I want it to be. Maybe a little bit more damage, because it is kind of... With the slower fire rate, it is lagging a little bit. It's almost like game balance is hard or something. Who would have thought? But, I don't know. The other thing that I'm kind of thinking too is that I think I'm going to have to revisit the enemy health pools, because some of them are going down way too quickly. Some of them feel about right. Like, I think the Archviles feel about where I want them to be. Hell Knights and Revenants are maybe a little bit too weak. Kakos could maybe use a little bit of a buff. I mean, I did raise the overall damage level of the weapons, so that's really kind of not doing them any favors right now. You can see this is absolutely trivial, but this is a pretty easy map, in my opinion. I mean, I think this is one of the ones that I just kind of did keyboard only first try, so yeah. I didn't do it mouse only yet. Yeah, maybe we'll get there. Who knows? Oh, hi there. Hey, pretty mama. BFG definitely needs some work done with it desperately, because it's just... It's so boring now. I don't know. Thinking of increasing the rocket speed, because I find myself not using the rocket launcher too much. I was actually, no joke, considering... I don't know, maybe something like this already exists. But it seems kind of niche to me. But I was actually kind of thinking of just making just a quick and dirty DSDA Doom code edit that would make like after a play session, it would just dump a histogram of how much you use each weapon. With the idea being, if the weapon's not fun to use, I'm probably not going to use it very much. And that way, instead of having maybe some potential bias, I'll just have raw data to work with. I don't know. I try to trend towards science wherever possible. Just makes a lot more sense and takes my stupid ass out of the equation. It's beautiful. Spread gun will always be amazingly fun. Although it almost feels too powerful, but I'm going to get to that little thing in a second. So, the other thing I've been kind of considering is, well, I mean, obviously at this point, I'm giving the players way too much ammo. So that's going to have to get toned down a little bit. Apparently you can't make that with an SR50. How dare you. But I think it's one of those cases where the spread gun will be fine. I just need to make sure that I don't give the player an excessive number of cells. And I think that's where the whole map design thing is going to kind of come into play. Plus maybe a little bit of just rebalancing in the DHack script. Because right now the values are kind of high. Because one of the problems I ran into during testing... one of the problems I ran into during testing is that a lot of slaughter maps tend to focus pretty heavily on the BFG. And like a lot of the maps that I would test these with, I would actually have to like give myself ammo. Also, you might notice that the color map's a little different for Invuln. Yeah, I changed it a little bit just to make the colors actually appear a little bit. But nothing too crazy. But anyway, I digress. But that was one of the problems here. Like with this map, it focuses on rockets and cells. So if you're trying to, you know, do these bad boys, there's no ammo available for them. Oh yeah. Little bit of a glitch because this chainsaw is replaced with this. Chainsaw's actually not in the game right now. But if you change to the chainsaw version of the pistol, it just makes the fire sound when you pull it out because it uses D saw up, and I replaced that with the pistol sound. That was before I realized that there were actually dedicated sound slots that you know, DEH Extra ended up adding in. Oh, the things you learn when you haven't done stuff like this in a while, or ever, for that matter. Yeah. But, yeah, I think that's going to be one of the major factors is the, just mapping. Like, for instance, this is way too much ammo. Or maybe not. Maybe if I tweak the dehack thing a little bit, you know, maybe it'll be fine. See, like, right now, I'm actually giving the player, like, 48 bullets, and that's for every magazine pickup. So you can see. Oh, and the game multiplies that by 5 when you're picking up the boxes. Cells, I figured I'd give them 1 BFG shot per pickup. The BFG shot being 30 now. But, you know, maybe if I reduce this to like 10 or something like that and, you know, give it to them more in moderation. That's one of those things where I don't necessarily think I'm going to need to nerf the spread gun. I just need to control when the player can use it. One of those deals. Because I want to have some weapons that are obviously going to be a little bit stronger. I want to have, you know, some more fun stuff. And it's not like the spread gun is always going to be better. It's got a wide spread. So it's not necessarily the most effective when it comes to actually dealing damage. And what else? I don't know. Just putting a lot of thought into things. One of the other things that I wound up getting was a spirograph type of program for my phone. Phone, iPad, whatever. Because I really want to, like, when I start mapping out the hell levels, I want to have some more interesting designs. Ooh, fancy suburb. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be, I mean, half the month's over already. It's going to be pretty wild. My pace has increased, but this has been a very, very busy month for me, just IRL. So, things are going to get very interesting from this point forward. I will say it's a little bit wild with this map because it's the most, and I'm not even done with it. I still need to do this area here, but that shouldn't take too long. This is mostly going to be just texturing and kind of filling out the player's yard, dropping some trees into the suburbs, or maybe not. I don't know. That would affect movement like a lot because they do have collision. And I would like the player to be able to freely move between the houses because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Like there's 288 kills or something like that now. And that's just getting started. But anyway, kind of a little bit complex. It's funny because like I've never actually made a map that takes a significant amount of time to build the nodes. But, you know, I suppose when you actually look at, well, first the Fistplate Explorer. Like, holy crap. It's actually not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be, but man, my computer fan is roaring right now. Trying to calculate all this mess, but anyway. But the nodes are obviously going to be very complex with all those stupid houses there. So, I don't know. I'm actually at like halfway through the side def limit, so I think I'm going to have to be a little careful with this. Like, I can't make the suburbs, like even when I get to the point where like post NaNoWADMo, where I start kind of refreshing things and making things a little bit nicer and fancier, I'm still gonna have to be very careful because like adding shadows to these, actually hold on, no it doesn't, no it does have side defs, yeah, that's of course it has to. So yeah, I could very, very easily end up slamming into that limit. But I don't know. That's a problem for future Spectre. We're just going to kind of try to finish up as much of this as we can for the time being. But I think that's all I have now. Probably going to just knock this one out pretty quickly and kind of move on to the next one. Oh boy, I'm very curious. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get my entire story realized at this pace unless I just finalize everything and then I really have some productive days. But I think a realistic goal would be to get, I don't know if I want to do just one episode or one map for each episode. Because, I mean, there's always later, and I do like the direction this project is going. It's something that I think is kind of semi-unique, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's still like 16 days, and we'll see. But anyway, that's all I have for you for now. Thank you very much for watching this nice little rambling developer log or whatever. And I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.